guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about side imaging. We're going to go out there and mess around with side imaging a little bit there and see if we can tell the difference between a stump and a brush pile. I think we can. Hang around a little bit there. We're going to see what we can do with it there and maybe give y'all some pointers and some setups and stuff like that. I'll see y'all in just a little bit. All right, guys, we're back out here on the water now. I'm just easing along. You can see on the map right there, I'm just easing along a little drop off, basically. I'm going to show you what I try to find when I'm out here looking around, and the difference between. I'm going to try to show you just between the stumps and the brush pile, if I can. I will try and see. We're coming up on the. Let me get this up here on the screen here, and there, right here. That's a little bitty brush pile right there. I'm looking for stuff like it. Man, little spots like that really hold a lot of crappie. It'd be surprising to you how much it is. Now here's a bigger brush pile. Look at all the limbs and junk laying on the bottom down there. Now if you look right there, that's a stump. See that stump? But this is all brush that's laying on the bottom. This is a bigger brush pile right over here. I'm going to kind of edit through a lot of this stuff right here so I don't bore y'all. But I want to show you what I look for when I'm coming out here and I look along the edges of these drop-offs, the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. And I see that stuff like that, I would mark that. And if you run by something and you missed it and say, dang, I wish I'd have marked that, you can scroll this back up. See, it'll scroll right back up. You can mark that brush pile. Look at that pile of brush right there, and I put the mark right on top of it. That's a brush pile right there. And this one over here is too. So you can scroll back and forth. You know, something you've seen that you wish you would have marked, you can go back, as long as the side image is running, you can go back and scroll over it. So, let's hit the back button. These are stumps right here. Let me bring this up. So that's the difference between a stump and a brush pile. You see that, I don't know if but I can't do it, there we go. You see that's casting a shadow right there? Get that back off. That's a stump. These are stumps over here because they're making shadows. There's a really big stump coming up right there. Get rid of that thing. And everything you see is casting a shadow is going to be a stump sticking up. This right here is a stump, got some brush around it. See the limbs and stuff all around it? Oh, I got rid of that thing, there we go. That was actually got fish around it. See the little white specks? Those white specks right there are fish. Here's a root system on the stump. This is a ledge with a whole bunch of junk all over it, fish everywhere on that thing. Let me stop the screen. Let me show y'all. If you look at all these white specks right over here where the air is, all those white specks are fish right in there. That's what I'm looking for when I'm out here. This is a root system laid on the bottom where a tree has broke off and died. I seen right there, I see two fish right there by that stump. Now you see that shadow right there, how it's casting that shadow? That's a stump. That's how you tell the difference between a brush pile and a stump. There's a brush pile right there under the boat. You can see it on this side of the a racing stripe, as I call it, but it ain't really a racing stripe. But you can tell without a doubt what's a stump and what's a brush pile. Now you see coming up right here, that's just an old tree that's fell down, laying on the bottom. You see the limbs going off of it. Let me bring that up where you can see it better. You can see the limbs laying all which ways where it broke and hit the bottom. There's another, just a log laying on the bottom. There's a really nice little brush pile right there. This brush, it's a little drop off right here on this side. That's why you see that great big giant shadow, because that's the drop off. But there's brush all along the edge of that. I'm actually going to put a mark on that because I like that. Put a mark right there and go back and look at it later. But you can see by the ledge right there, I'm just following along the ledge. And here it is right here on this. There's an old road bed right there. Then there's a ledge right there. It's kind of the places I look for along road beds, especially on drop-offs. Drop-offs are the main things that I like to see. And that's how I find the fish that I'm looking for. And I'm going right along the edge of the river right now. I mean, that's all this is, and that's just no road that used to go along the edge of the river. See all this stuff coming up on the picture here? That's a big bunch of brush right there. All that stuff is just all kind of junk laying all along the edge of that drop off. Let me bring the picture up and y'all can see it better here. That looks like a really good spot right there to fish on. Now you see that shadow coming off of that one right there? That's a stump sticking up, casting a big shadow. That's how you tell if it's a stump or not. And you can see that's just an old log laying on the bottom right there. There's two more stumps right there. No doubt those are stumps. There's another, see the shadows coming off of them? No doubt in my mind what that is right there. This is right here is a big old pile of brush that's kind of sticking up off the bottom. It's casting the shadow, so that thing's piled up there pretty high. All of these are stumps. Look at these stumps over here. See them all casting shadows right there? That's all just a bunch of stumps sticking up. So without question, you can definitely tell the difference between brush piles and stumps. See how that long, skinny shadow right there? That's a tree right there in there with that sticking up. And it's a pretty tall tree too, because that's a long shadow coming off of it right there. That right there is probably a brush pile. I would go back and look at it with Livescope, not only to be positive that's a brush pile, because of the way the shadow's laying this way and it's not very tall. And look at all this stuff laying on the bottom over here. Just bunches and bunches of stuff where trees are falling down along the edge of the river. This is what I look for. You find this kind of stuff right here, you make your marks and go back and hit it with your Livescope. If you don't have a Livescope, go back and hit it with down imaging. I'm going to show you. Let me bring that down imaging back up here. I'm going to run over some stuff with down imaging. I'll show you how good this thing is. Whew. Okay, look right here at this down imaging. This is a really good example of just how good down imaging is. Look, these are stumps right here sticking up. That one has fish on top of it. Boy, if you put a mark on them right there, you'd be in crappie heaven there for a little while. Because both of those stumps right there, and they're perfect depth of water too. They have fish on them. That's how good down imaging it is. Look at all the shad up here above them. These fish are hanging out right here because they're eating them shad. Now the place we just went by with the down imaging is what you just see on that screen right there. See how you can back this up and scroll back through it and look at it? Take another shot at it. See, there's that stuff we was looking at on down imaging right there. Here's a whole bunch of more stuff right over here. This is a big old brush pile right here. There ain't no doubt that's a brush pile. You don't see a ledge or anything right there. You just see a pile of stuff. That would be an excellent spot to go to right there. All right, let's go back up now. But guys, you know, use your electronics, man. These things are awesome nowadays. There's no reason why you can't go out there. You don't even have to have Livescope. You go out there and use this stuff right here and just kind of run your maps and run your side imaging and down imaging. You can find fish. Look, throw them dang markers out when you find them. Throw them right dead behind your boat, because that's where your transducer is. And you can mark some of the best places you can imagine that you've never even seen before. See, there's a stump sticking up. Look at those stumps casting those images. There's a little brush pile right there. You can find stuff that you've never even thought about looking for right here before. Okay. Let me show you something else I look for right here too. Is see this map right here? This is to me, this is an island out here. This ain't really an island. See, it's 16 feet out here. It's shallow. It's a hump out here in the middle of nowhere. I look for stuff like that right there. I'll run right over them things right there, and a lot of times somebody's put something on it. And when they do, you can go and you can wear them out. You know, if you find where they're at. Also, look at this, how this island right here is shaped. See how it comes to a point right here? Man, those are really, really good places to be looking. I mean, it may not be nothing here. We've got to take a look at it real quick and see if there's anything there, but those are extremely good places to look when they make a point. And see how pinched and tight the lines are right there? That means the drop off is steep and it's a point. So we're gonna, let's put it back on here. We're gonna just look and see what's down there. I've seen a brush pile on down imaging already. There's some moth brush right there. Just sometimes I go out here, man, I might spend an hour or two just looking, you know, new places I've never been before. Look at this stuff coming up on this point right here. Look at that right there. Now, I didn't even know that was there. We're finna put a mark on this thing, because I have never looked on this little old island. Look at that, more brush piles. This is a little heaven spot right here. Man, we finna mark all this stuff. This got fish in it. It's like a darn boat something right there, don't it? Look at the shape of that boat right there. That's how good this down imaging is. Those are stumps. See them casting shadows? That's a bunch of brush piled up all over the place right there. Look at all this stuff, man. And I'm gonna show you how to mark all of this stuff right here real quick. I'm gonna stop the screen. Right in the middle of that thing, I think there's a boat right there. I'm gonna put a mark. Back. Right there, all that brush. I mean, there's a lot of brush right there. I'm gonna put a mark right there. Hit. Well, I didn't mark it. Whoops, I messed up. Hang on a minute. Right in the middle of all that brush right there. Hit that little old teardrop up there. Not this mark button. You do not ever want to hit that dang mark button unless you're trying to mark the position of your boat, and that's it. Okay, we hit that. That's marked. We're gonna scroll the screen back up. We're gonna hit all this junk right here. That's a big, huge brush pile right there. We're gonna mark that one. We're gonna move over to that right there. That's a little brush pile for sure. We're gonna mark that. I like all of that stuff, man. That's gonna be a lot of fun fishing that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come back and fish around this. All right, man, that's awesome right there. All right, guys, we're gonna end that video right here. I think y'all get the idea of how to do this now. You just ease along. Use your machine. Use your let me get out all this junk right here. There we go. Use your maps like this. Use your down imaging. Use your side imaging. All three of these things at one time are just crazy good, because you never, man, I never even seen that island before. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just out here goofing around looking. Look at this stuff I'm coming up on now. I didn't know it was here. I've never been to this spot. And now I'm finding new places to fish. It's just this easy. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions about it there, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, and I'll answer them the best I can. And look, I hope y'all find all the dang fish in the world. Come out here and catch yourself a limit, and just wear them out and have the best time in the world. Look at that big old dang log laying down there right there, man. That thing's got a shadow on the other side. That's just a big old dang tree that fell down right there, is all that is. There's a stump. So you can still stump. Look at the picture of it right there. I'm gonna show y'all that so you can see real quick. See the outline of that stump right there? That's the same stump, so that's not two stumps. But that's how good this thing is, man. That's a tree laying on the bottom right there. That's how good side imaging is. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I didn't said that already. And if you don't mind, leave a like and hit that subscribe button and that like button and help support the channel. And I sure would appreciate it. And I'll see y'all next time.